Peace be upon you and welcome to Connect Quran. This platform provides interpretation of the Quran considering its systematic arrangement of topics, unlike other available translations or interpretations. And this makes it easy to follow along and to truly grasp Quran's wisdom and guidance. In this video, we will cover section 5.3 with verses 83 to 87. Which is a continuation of outlining the required actions for Bani Isra'il and the people they represent, as well as required precautions for the new or true believers. In the previous video, we have learned that one group of wrongdoers from Bani Isra'il joined Prophet Muhammad as believers and distorted the original Quran's message through hadith. This video captures the evil deeds of the second group of wrongdoers from Bani Isra'il people. Here is how this section is organized. One verse from the top and one verse from the bottom end form the outer topic, which reminds the two groups of wrongdoers from Bani Isra'il of breaking their covenant with Allah. Then the inner topic consists of three central verses, outlining the evil actions of one of the two groups of wrongdoers from Bani Isra'il. And remember that the evil actions of the other group of wrongdoers have already been outlined in the previous subsection. So, with this background information and listing of keywords along with their meanings, let's begin with the translation and interpretation of the verses of this section. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وإذا أخذنا ميثاق بني إسرائيل لا تعبدون إلا الله. And when we took covenant from people, children of Israel, the covenant was, don't worship anyone except Allah. And in this case, worshipping is referring to both of its aspects, obedience as well as glorification through formal prayer. وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا وَذِي الْقُرْبَى وَالْيَتَامَى وَالْمَسَاكِينِ. And be gracious with parents, close relatives, orphans, and the poor people, by providing them physical and financial support. وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. And say beneficial things to people. So you don't have the license to hurt people's feelings with your words if you have helped them physically or financially, or by a combination of both. Thus, the covenant is to serve your Creator and provide support to His creation by physical, financial, and or emotional means. وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ. And you are required to establish the duty of upholding your covenant by following Allah's guidance, and come purified from the guilt of breaking your covenant with Allah, and increased by acquiring a higher level paradise compared to your previous settlement in the lowest paradise. ثُمَّ تَوَلَّيْتُمْ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا مِّنكُمْ. But then you turned away from what was required from you, except a few from you. وَأَنْتُمْ مُعْرِضُونَ. And you are exhibiting arrogance by not upholding your covenant with Allah. One thing I want to highlight in particular in this verse is that we must keep in mind these four categories of people for our financial favors, because after our death, our belongings will be distributed among them based on our circumstances. And inshallah, we will cover the topic of inheritance in detail when going through chapter 4. But for now, I would like to take a moment to discuss the term masakin in relation to the term fuqara, which hasn't been introduced yet but will come later in this chapter. It is important to distinguish between these two interrelated terms because Quran uses them in specific commands. First of all, the root meaning of the word fakir or fuqara in its plural form is to lack, whereas the root meaning of maskeen or masakin is to rely upon. So, in terms of state of these people, fakir or fuqara are those people who have ongoing reliable resources, but their resources are insufficient to meet their basic needs, and their survival or sustenance becomes increasingly difficult without support. On the other hand, maskeen or masakin are those people who have reached to a much advanced level of vulnerability. So they don't have ongoing reliable resources and they completely rely upon others to meet their basic needs. Also, their survival or sustenance is extremely difficult without any support. In Connect Quran, we will translate the term fakir or fuqara as the needy people, and the term maskeen or masakin as the poor people. Typically, it is translated the other way around, so I thought to make it clear what these terms actually mean. Now let's go back to the translation. So while people have been breaking their covenant with Allah and continued following their desires, Allah has been providing them with warnings through His messengers because Allah is ever merciful. But they have been rejecting Allah's messengers either hypocritically or aggressively in order to continue following their desires. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا مُوسَى الْكِتَابَ وَقَفَّيْنَا مِن بَعْدِهِ بِالرُّسُلِ. We certainly got Moses the scripture or the code of conduct, and we followed up by sending messengers after him, which shows Allah's mercy for His people. وآتينا عيسى ابن مريم البينات وأيدناه بروح القدس. And we got Jesus, son of Mary, clear revelations or proofs, as we supported him with a spirit holding profound reverence for Allah. This signifies that Jesus was granted some powers to do things that were way beyond humans and the type of supernatural being mentioned earlier in this chapter, who also have free will and going through the trial in this world like humans. أَفَكُلَّمَا جَاءَكُمْ رَسُولٌ بِمَا لَا تَهْوَى أَنفُسُكُمُ اسْتَكْبَرْتُمْ فَفَرِيقًا كَذَّبْتُمْ وَفَرِيقًا تَقْتُلُونَ. Why is it so that every time a messenger came to you with something not aligned with your own desires, you became arrogant? So a group of you lied to the messengers by falsely claiming to be believers, and a group of you killed messengers and or their followers. Notice that the two groups of wrongdoing people are mentioned after mentioning the name of two prophets, and their followers represent two major groups, namely Jews and Christians, which means in both of these groups, the people were present from both major groups. So in these two verses, two groups of wrongdoers from Bani Isra'il are reminded of breaking their covenant with Allah, as they only partially adhere to His guidance. And we have learned in the previous subsection that how one group responded to Prophet Muhammad. And now it's time to review how the second group responded to Prophet Muhammad and his followers. وَإِذَا أَخَذْنَا مِيثَاقَكُمْ لَا تَسْفِكُونَ دِمَاءَكُمْ وَلَا تُخْرِجُونَ أَنفُسَكُم مِّن دِيَارِكُمْ ثُمَّ أَقْرَرْتُمْ وَأَنْتُمْ تَشْهَدُونَ. And when we took the covenant from you, the covenant was, don't shed your blood by harming or killing each other, and don't drive out yourself from your homes, meaning don't forcibly remove people living among you from their lands. Then you acknowledged that you have understood the terms of the covenant. And now you are testifying with your actions whether or not you uphold your covenant with Allah. ثم أنتم هؤلاء تقتلون أنفسكم وتخرجون فريقا منكم من ديارهم. Then here you are killing yourself, meaning other people, and expelling a segment of people from among you from their homes. تظاهرون عليهم بالإثم والعدوان. You are apparent in committing the crime and exceeding the bound against them. وَإِن يَأْتُوكُمْ مُسَارَىٰ تُفَادُوهُمْ وَهُوَ مُحَرَّمٌ عَلَيْكُمْ إِخْرَاجُهُمْ. And if they come to you as captives or war prisoners, you let them to be ransomed, pretending to be nice and following Allah's guidance from the previous scriptures. While it is forbidden on you to expel them from their lands at first place. أَفَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِبَعْضِ الْكِتَابِ وَتَكْفُرُونَ بِبَعْضٍ. Do you believe in some parts of the code of conduct and remain unmindful about the rest? فَمَا جَزَاءُ مَنْ يَفْعَلُ ذَلِكَ مِنْكُمْ إِلَّا خِزْيٌ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. Then what can be the requite for whoever does that from you, except being disgraced in this present life? وَيَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ يُرَدُّونَ إِلَىٰ أَشَدِّ الْعَذَابِ. And they will be repaid with more severe torment on the day of judgment. وَمَا اللَّهُ بِغَافِلٍ عَمَّا تَعْمَلُونَ. And Allah is not heedless of whatever you do. أولئك الذين اشتروا الحياة الدنيا بالآخرة. Those are the ones who have purchased this present life with the hereafter. فلا يخفف عنهم العذاب ولا هم ينصرون. So the torment will not be lightened on them from Allah, and they cannot be helped by anyone against Allah. The key message for us to take from these three verses is that partial adherence to Allah's guidance will be of no use. Let it be from different scriptures or from the same scripture. So we must abstain from doing it. And now that we have understood Bani Isra'il's interaction with Prophet Muhammad and his followers, so let's summarize it. The term Bani Isra'il carries a negative connotation, and used for children of Israel and as representative of people who profess belief in Allah, His guidance, and the hereafter. But they ignore, misuse, or abuse His revelations because of their superiority complex and continue following their desires, leading them to partially adhere to Allah's guidance. And in regards to their interaction with Prophet Muhammad and his followers, they are divided into two groups: disbelievers and hypocrites. The disbelievers group represent people who aggressively opposed religious views of Prophet Muhammad and his followers by harming and killing people, which led to forced migration or immigration of Prophet Muhammad and his followers from their homeland, place A, to a new area of settlement, which is place B. Because of this religious oppression, and since not everyone could migrate, wars were fought between disbelievers in place A and believers who were relocated to place B. The hypocrites group, on the other hand, represent people who falsely claim to believe Prophet Muhammad and his followers and joined them moving to place B. But they continued following their desires there and distorted the Quran's original message through hadith in order to support their evil practices and in order to find excuses for the hereafter. Although both of these are wrongdoing group of people, but one is just more wrongdoing than the other. For example, the group of hypocrites undermined Allah's revelations, and the group of disbelievers harmed and killed people in addition to undermining Allah's revelations. Therefore, Allah said to these disbelievers that they are going to be disgraced in this present life, and then they will be more severely punished in the hereafter. So they will be rewarded with double punishment. But since true believers residing at place B moved from place A, so it is more than likely and can easily be perceived that they had family ties at place A. So they could not help but trying to invite people to Quran from the group of disbelievers, despite being oppressed by them, since they knew the truth. So the question arises, how did people from disbelievers group of Bani Isra'il residing at place A respond to believers' call from place B for taking the Quran as their guide? This question will be answered in section 5.4, which we will cover in the next video, inshallah. Please like and share this video to support the content, and subscribe to the channel for staying current with the updates. Thanks for listening. And for those who are here for the first time, this channel Connect Quran is dedicated to developing a better understanding of the Quran by delving deep into its structured topics with remarkable compositions. So discover profound insights by following this sequential study of the Quran, starting with the video Quran's Interpretation, Thinking Outside the Box. Thanks again for watching the video. May peace and blessings be with you.